Hi teachers! Today I want to explain to you the resource that you have in your hands. It's called the Getting Ready to Write Guide for Kindergarten and First Grade Authors. A couple of things to know about this particular guide. First of all, it is K-1 specific. The whole intention is to build in some foundational level skills for our K-1 authors, our youngest authors. If you take a look at the guide that you have in your hands right now, you'll see that there are some tabs down the side. The first tab is our Genre and Organization tab. Then you'll see that we have Opinion, Expository and Research Lessons, Narrative Lessons, Vocabulary Building Activities, and finally an Appendix, which will have all of your bibliography information, assessment information, etc. Now, when you look at this Getting Ready to Write guide, realize that you can use it in many, many different ways. First of all, what I really want to talk about is when you are deciding where your students are in terms of the developmental stages of writing, what you really want to do is think about, are my students ready to put the pencil to the paper, or am I going to build oral language with this lesson? Because one of the biggest challenges we have is meeting the needs of everybody in that K-1 classroom. So each lesson is designed to really meet those challenges. You can do the lesson orally, you can do the lesson on a chart paper, you can do the lesson and have students actually create some of the writing. In addition, all of the lessons support an art connection in some way. Because here's the reality. How do students actually show the information that they know? Oftentimes, if they're not ready to put words to the page, they can draw a picture to represent their thoughts and ideas. So we're going to encourage that throughout all of the lessons. The other thing I want you to know is that you have a very sequenced scope and sequence. Those pages are available for you to follow, but it's a guide. So what do I mean by that? Well, you might already have a curriculum that you use in place that you like and kind of works for you. So you're going to use the lessons that support that curriculum that you have in place. If you have no curriculum in place at all and you're really looking for something that's comprehensive, then using our Year at a Glance guides will help you to create a cohesive, comprehensive map for your entire year. So you've got Year at a Glance guides, and each of the lessons is specified month by month. So here's what I want you to do. Be sure to understand that everything in this guide, all of the lessons, all of the teacher background information is really available for you to use throughout the year. When I teach a lesson early in the year, I don't just do like a one and done kind of thing. I revisit that lesson over and over again throughout the year. Depends on the thematic material that I'm teaching at the time. So I might do a beginning, middle, and end lesson with a book about friendship in the beginning of the year because that's a theme I'm working on. But in the middle of the year, we're learning about polar bears in my classroom. So I can go back to that lesson on beginning, middle, and end, and I can read a story about polar bears and do that very same lesson with the new content. So I want you to be thinking about that. How am I going to include each of these lessons throughout all of the content that I have? And in that way, what you understand is that you're constantly building up what I call author's thinking. As you build author's thinking, you help students to understand the foundations of becoming an author. And when they're ready to put the pencil to the paper, you're going to encourage them to do that. So, take a look through your Getting Ready to Write guide. Begin to realize that there are teacher background pages. Those are the information that you need to inform your instruction. There are lesson plan pages. Those pages are procedural in nature, and that will help you to understand the flow of each lesson. There are some student templates so that when it's time for the students to do some guided practice, you've got ready-made templates that you can immediately put to good use in your classroom. And there are some appendix pages. Enjoy your time getting ready to write and understanding the guide.